Hey all you cool cats and kittens out there. My name's Nicole Olick. I'm an environmental protection specialist at the Corps of Engineers in Wiesbaden, Germany. See, there. And I'm here to talk to you today about food waste.
Did you know that in 2015 we produced over 39 million tons of food waste?
Did you know?
Did you know in 2013, 14.3% of U.S. households were food insecure? That's 48 million hungry people, with 16 million being children.
Go.
Hey, did you know that 18% total U.S. methane emissions come from landfills?
Did you know?
Did you know 31% of municipal solid waste is food?
Did you know that more than 820 million people on this planet don't go hungry each year, even though there's enough food to feed everyone?
So what can we do?
All right, guys, so now we know why food waste is a problem. To reiterate a couple of things that those really cute kids said, we produce over 39 million tons of food waste each year. There are more than 820 million people on this planet that go hungry every year, despite the fact that we produce enough food to feed everyone on the planet. So you know why food waste is a problem, but where does food waste come from? So we're going to talk about where food waste comes from, some ways to reduce the food waste in each of those places, and then we're going to go forward with what you can do in your own house. Okay? So there is a food recovery hierarchy. So we're going to talk the biggest, best way to impact food waste is to start at the source, right? So where we're growing the food, farmers leaving food in the field because it's more expensive for them to harvest and get it to market than the money they would get for selling it. Farmers leaving it out there because of weather conditions or people no longer wanting this or that or the other thing. Trends in food going one way or another and them not being able to predict it in time and grow those foods. So reducing the food volume generated is going to be our biggest impact. So beyond source reduction, we want to feed the hungry people. So where we've got extra food laying about there, we need to give it to the hungry instead of throwing it away, right? Feed animals. Food scraps can go to animals. Chickens love everything. Pigs too, if you have the space to keep chicken or pigs. I don't. Not allowed in army housing. So we've got a lot of ways that we can reduce food source. Let's talk about the food that's produced in the field. There's waste there, we can reduce that. That food has to transport really far to go to the markets or the restaurants where it's going to be eaten. So eating local, you're going to reduce some waste there because of course food's going to go bad on the way and in the transport. And of course we're putting energy into that. And then once it gets to the restaurants and it gets to the shops, how can we reduce waste there? That's easy, right? So we're looking at a grocery store and it's got tons and tons of food available. And that's because people like to pick the best of the best, right? So if we start shopping local and start shopping at these smaller markets that have just a little bit and they only buy what they know that they'll sell. And same with restaurants. If you go to some place that has an enormous menu, they're going to have to order all that food to have it available for you at all times, right? And that's going to lead to a lot of food waste. You go to these restaurants that buy local, shop local, farm to plate kind of restaurants. They have a much smaller menu, and that means that they're ordering less and they're wasting less. So those are some easy ways that you can impact the food waste along the production line right there. All right, so when we're talking about wasting food, we're wasting resources, right? When we throw away food, we are just throwing away all the things that went into making that food. So U.S. food production accounts for 50% of land use, 80% of water use, and 10% of total energy use in the United States. So that means loads of energy, loads of water, and loads of land are all going into these plants, and then they're getting thrown away. Now, even worse is if you look at the energy it takes to grow a field of plants versus the energy it takes to grow, say, a cow. So it takes 6 kilograms of plant protein for every 1 kilogram of animal protein. It also takes 28 calories of energy for every calorie of animal protein produced. So what that means is You can grow 1 field of plants and eat that field of plants, or you can go 12 fields of plants and feed 1 cow. It's simple math, right? Eating less meat means using less energy. It's that easy. All right, so we talked about reducing food waste at the source in the fields. We talked about reducing eating local, so you're reducing the energy that it takes to transport that food. We talked about better shopping at grocery stores and at restaurants so that you're reducing the amount of food that they're ordering. Now let's talk about getting to your actual house. How can we reduce our food waste? Well, first of all, let's look at what kind of food waste we're producing. Food accounts for 21% of the American waste stream, right? That's a lot. That's almost a quarter of our waste is just food. So first of all, let's get that out of the landfills. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But second of all, wow, that's a lot of waste. Let's talk about reducing that waste in shopping smarter. We can plan a list, plan our meals, use leftovers, make sure we're taking care of our leftovers, make sure we're using everything in that fridge. First in, first out. Use that old food. Find creative ways to eat those leftovers and only buy what your family's going to consume, right? There's a lot of ways we can do this, and I'm sure you guys could think of 1,000 more, and that's going to probably be one of your assignments for this week. All right, so we've reduced as much waste as we can, and now that food, it's just waste. You're going to have waste sometimes. When you're cooking and you've got those ends and you've got stuff you're going to have to throw away, you've got to chuck it, right? What happens to that food? That's our next step here. Well, if we just throw it in the trash can, it's going to go to a landfill, right? So landfills are designed to keep everything out that shouldn't be in the landfill and keep everything in that is in that landfill. So when you're eating a banana and you chuck that peel out, it's going to go into plastic bag in your trash can. That plastic bag is going to go into more plastic, which is going to go into more plastic, and it's going to be surrounded by layers and layers and layers of plastic. And then once it gets to the landfill, there's going to be a liner underneath that prevents groundwater contamination, because there's a lot of things in that landfill that we do not want getting into our drinking water, right? And then there's also going to be a cover on top of that to keep the methane out, because when this food is decomposing, it's releasing loads and loads of methane. As we learned earlier, 18% of total US methane emissions come from landfills. That's a lot of methane. Fun fact, a ridiculous amount actually come from cow farts as well. You should look that up. It's true. So back to the landfills. We throw our food waste into the landfill. We produce loads of methane, which is really bad. It's a greenhouse gas. Look it up. And then beyond that, those nutrients from the food we ate never get back into the soil. So we're leaching nutrients from the soil when we grow things. And then what we should be doing is composting the food waste, which would return the nutrients back to the soil, which would allow new life to grow, right? Well, when we throw our food in the landfill, that doesn't happen. Instead, we're trying to focus on composting. So, how much food do we really produce? How much food waste do we really produce each week? Well, it's a good question. So we did an experiment for you guys, all right? For 1 week, my family threw everything into a trash can, and then I sorted it in a very messy video for you. Here you go. All right, guys, I'm out here looking like a crazy person in my neighborhood, about to go through my trash, which we have been collecting all week. I have not been separating at all, so we're gonna go through and see what an average week looks like in my household. You guys can do the same thing. Feel free to get dirty. If I was in your school today, we would be making you dig through the cafeteria trash, so you got out of that one. Here's my nice sorting stations so that I can move everything around as I unload, and yeah, let's get dirty. All right, so we just sorted all my garbage. I came up with over 5 pounds of food waste in 1 week. I've been tracking for the past few weeks, and we produce anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds a week of food waste. Now, we've been eating at home a lot, obviously, as I'm sure you guys have as well during this quarantine. And of course, that's going to increase your food waste. We also eat vegetarian. So we have a lot of vegetable ends and things like that that go into the food waste. But I would think that you guys would have a comparable amount if you are collecting your food waste. Most of the places here in Germany and on post have a bio container where you throw all your food waste in there, throw it into the composting bins outside, and they will actually compost that for you on an industrial level, which is really awesome. And some places in the States are starting this too, which is super cool. We want this to happen. And to see why this needs to happen, we're going to look a little bit more into composting. So composting is the biological breakdown of organic waste by bacteria, fungi, worms, and other organisms. Now, when you throw worms in, it's called vermiculture. It's really cool. You get like this bin full of worms. You throw your food waste in there. They eat it. They turn it into dirt at the bottom. So you can literally lift up these worms. They're like all wiggling together. It's super cool. And then you can pull out the dirt. It's really nutrient rich. You can plant flowers in it. You can use it to fertilize your vegetable beds if you have a vegetable garden, stuff like that. Super cool. You should look into it. All right. So composting needs oxygen, moisture, and food. Now, the food that's going into this composting is actually going to be carbon and nitrogen. So you need a good balance of these things. When we're looking at industrial composting, like in the German system, they are measuring the pH. They're checking how much carbon, how much nitrogen is in the system, and they're adding to it and changing it around so that it can decompose as quickly as possible so that they can return the nutrients back to the soil. So as a recap, we are going to reduce our food waste by smart shopping. Plan your meals, make shopping lists with your ingredients so you're only buying what you need. Purchase locally sourced produce because it lasts longer. We have awesome farm stands around. You can get really fresh, straight out of the field foods. They're really great tasting, and they only traveled as far as it took to get from the field to the side of the road. Eating more plant-based meals means less waste in the production. Smart storage, save your leftovers. Home cooking in restaurants, put your food in the fridge as soon as possible to make sure it doesn't go bad. Wrap your cheese in wax paper and not plastic to keep it from getting all moisture-y and gross. First in, first out in your fridge. We already talked about that. All right, let's recap. We talked about the fact that we are growing enough food in the world to feed every hungry person in the world if we just reduce our food waste. So the number one way, biggest impact we could do that is reducing it at the source, right? So we're going to shop local. We're going to eat at smaller restaurants. We're going to give our money to the people who can make the decisions to buy smaller amounts for their grocery stores, buy smaller amounts for their restaurants. We're going to eat local so that the food doesn't have to move as far, right? So once it gets to our house, we're going to reduce our food waste there by eating leftovers, by meal planning, by using grocery lists and sticking to them. And then once you've got that food, instead of throwing it in the landfill and creating methane and not returning the nutrients to the soil, we're going to compost. Composting is a great way to reduce the amount of methane being released and also to reduce to return those nutrients to the soil where we want them so that they can grow new food. Maybe you guys decide to make your own vegetable garden because of this really influential video that I am recording for you right now. All right, guys, you've learned it all. You know it all. Go forth, reduce your food waste. We're not going to produce 39 million tons of food waste anymore. That's unacceptable. That's releasing loads and loads of methane into the atmosphere. That's taking all those nutrients that could be put into the soil, not in the soil. All right? Compost, plant vegetables, eat vegetables, and stay healthy. Okay. Good job.